Hi, and welcome back to The Face of Space. This is a podcast that is dedicated to exploring the galaxy, talking to new life forms, and learning the tools and skills that they use to solve problems, make decisions, and learn how to get along.
I got some troubles, but they won't last. I'm gonna lay right down here in the grass.
I am your host, Miss Alyssa, and last week we visited a planet called Geils 667c to find out how they manage and maintain their friendships when things get tough. There I spoke to a cloud named Clara, who explained to me a problem she was facing with her friend Sarah. After identifying what a healthy and unhealthy friendship looked like to her, Clara decided to reconcile with her best friend. A small fight wasn't worth the loss of someone important to her. A good friend is there for you in good times and in bad, and they encourage you to do your best. Even when you make a mistake and feel disappointed, they say things like, "It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. You'll do better next time." But what happens when we make mistakes and they aren't around? Today I'd like to find out what life forms on the dwarf planet Elise do when they make mistakes, how they handle the negative feelings that can sometimes happen as a result.
Yesterday it rained in Tennessee. I heard it also rained in Tallahassee, but not a drop fell on.
I am now on an observation deck located in the dense forest mountain regions of Elise. Here, a species of rare alien mushrooms thrive in the moisture and in the darkness. I am sitting now with an 11-year-old named Fred the Fungi. Hi, Fred.
Yeah, I know. I'm a fun guy. I'm just so funny sometimes.
Fred, I like your sense of humor, and I am glad that I get to talk to you about this topic, because it's all about what we do and what we say when things go wrong. Have you ever made a mistake and felt disappointed in yourself?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I make mistakes all the time, yeah.
So today I'd like to talk about the bright side of those disappointing moments so we can stay on track and reach our goals. I'm going to show you a picture, Fred, and I'd like you to tell me what you think you see.
Well, I see a glass that's half empty of water. Yeah, but Fred, I see a glass that's half full of water.
Hello, I didn't see you there.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Miss Alyssa. That's my cousin. He's a jovial guy. His name's Slim Jim, yeah.
Oh, well then I'm happy to have both of you here, especially since it seems you both saw the same picture in a different way. One of you described it as half full, and the other described it as half empty. We all see things in different ways, and depending on how you look, you judge what you see, and this makes up your perspective. When you make a mistake, it's what you tell yourself about the mistake that will affect how you feel and what you do. You can think about the same event from a different perspective.
Yeah, that reminds me a lot of when Slim Jim and I, we both had the same results on our grades, but we had different ways of seeing it.
I'd love to hear what happened.
Yeah, well, the both of us got a low grade on the test. Both of us did, but, for some reason, well, I thought to myself, well, wow, I'm not smart. I'm never gonna do well. What's the point in trying? Yeah, well, I don't really think like that, so I just thought to myself, well, I tried. I guess I'll have to try harder next time.
Yes, that's a great example of two life forms with a really different perspective. Jim, you thought of your mistake as a learning experience. Did you do better on your next exam?
Oh, well, of course. I studied even harder.
It sounds like you didn't put yourself down. You gave yourself a chance to do better next time. Fred, how did you do? How did you feel about yourself?
I didn't study, and I didn't feel too good, and I didn't end up doing that good on the exam. So, I told myself that I'm not smart and that I always do bad, and it didn't really seem to help.
Yes, you two had very different thoughts about the same event. Sometimes we call this self-talk. Fred was using negative and Jim was using positive self-talk. When you make a mistake, it's easy to put yourself down. But negative self-talk actually weakens your confidence. Everything is a learning experience, and we make the best of the things that happen, bad or good, our fault or not our fault. The problem with the negative self-talk is that it doesn't help us at all. But when we talk to ourselves in a nice way, we actually help ourselves feel better, and we turn things that could be bad into learning experiences.
Yeah, I've noticed it. I've noticed that sometimes I might feel really bad about something, but sometimes good things come out of those bad things. Like when we learn something, like they turn into something good. Yeah, like that saying, lemonade makes your life better.
Yes, very close. The exact saying goes, if life hands you lemons, make lemonade. Can you guess what that means? Well, I think it's because lemons are kind of bad. If you eat them alone, they're kind of tart. But then, so they're not so good, but then, if you add sugar to them and you make them into a mixture, they can be absolutely delicious, and lemonade is very yummy. Exactly, it means that sometimes bad things happen and you can turn them into something better. You can make mistakes into things we call opportunities. Have you ever had something positive happen because of a mistake?
Oh yes, well, one day I wasn't doing my homework assignments at school, and my teacher he talked to my mom, and he told her I wasn't doing my homework assignments, and then my mom, she looked at me, and she said, why aren't you doing your homework assignments? And I said, because I can't see the board. And then she said, I wonder if you need glasses. And so then she took me to the doctor, and then the doctor said, oh, you really need glasses so you can see the board. So then I found out that I actually just needed to see better, and so now I have glasses and I can see everything and get my homework done all the time.
Yes, and something like that might have helped you see how bad things can turn out for the better, as long as you are honest and you try your best. If we know our strengths and weaknesses, we can learn how our thoughts and feelings affect our behavior. If we remember to learn from our mistakes, we can make better decisions the next time we are in similar situations. Here are some of the many things that I do when I make a mistake. I make amends if I hurt someone else. I learn from it. I brainstorm better ways to do it next time. I talk about it with others to avoid getting stuck in shame. I take responsibility for what I did. I might apologize. Remember that I am not a mistake. Forgive myself. Remind myself that I am human, and that's what makes humans do. We make mistakes. Be honest with myself and others. I will recognize that I am one step closer to getting it right. I will breathe, regroup, and try again. Keep things in perspective. Those are the many things that you can do when you make a mistake, and you might want to make something like this. I'm going to say goodbye to Fred and Jim, but before I do that, I have one last thing that I would like everyone to do after you are done listening to this podcast, and that is this. I would like you to make a list of the positive things you can tell yourself when you make a mistake, instead of something negative. You might say to yourself something like, today is a great day, or I can get through anything, or it's okay not to know everything, or I forgive myself for making mistakes, or better yet, you can say, I matter, because you do. So, I'm going to say goodbye to Fred and Jim now. Goodbye, you two.
Goodbye! Top of the morning to ya!
We all make mistakes, and sometimes our mistakes have negative consequences. If we dwell on the negative side of things and think of ourselves like failures, or someone that just can't do anything, then it only makes it worse. Instead, we can accept the consequences and make the best of them. Thank you all for joining me on this week's episode of The Face of Space. I am so excited for the list of positive self-talk statements you will make after I'm gone. It is so important. Until next time, bye-bye.